This week on Take It Outside.
We talking about Elon at all?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
How tall is a giraffe? 15,
Full-grown male giraffe.
18, 20 foot?
Up to 18 feet tall.
Nailed it. And he looks at me and he goes, Jackson's like, we should just leave.
Oh, fuck. If one of your kids wanted to solely do one sport, would you be open to that?
I don't think so.
Which coach would you say had the biggest impact on your life and why?
Great question.
What were you majoring in at Vandy?
Trying not to go to school.
This podcast was brought to you by Outsider. Check us out at www.outsider.com. Outsider is an outdoor lifestyle brand owned and operated by me, retired Navy SEAL Sam Mackey, and my dear friend and former NFL quarterback Jay Cutler. At Outsider, we encourage everyone to get outside and enjoy all that life has to offer. Head over to outsider.com to check out our unique patent-pending drinkware. Outsider's drinkware can be customized with your personal or business logo. Go to outsider.com, upload your logo, and we will send you visual proofs and great wholesale pricing. And don't forget, get outside and enjoy all that life has to offer. Welcome, everyone, to the next episode of the Take It Outside podcast, where we talk all things outdoors. I'm your host, Sam Mackey, and always I have my co-host, Smokin' Jay Cutler.
What's up, buddy?
Oh, not much. Just a little busy time of year.
Why is it busy?
Well, I got a lot going on with the kids, a lot of birthday parties, and then I got all three of them are in gymnastics now.
Ooh.
But luckily, I don't know how we did it. We got them all three in the same time slot on Monday, which is glorious.
That's a win right there.
Mary had a lot to do with it. She joined.
She jumped up?
Yeah, she jumped up.
She's like, I'm going with my sister.
Yeah, that's exactly what she did.
Not putting me with the little kids.
Yep. And she was crying. She's like, I don't want to be in the baby class.
Yeah.
Like, all those kids are your age.
Yeah.
You know?
Not a baby.
No, didn't want anything to do with it.
I roll around with grown-ups, Dad.
Yeah. So she fleeted up yesterday.
Okay.
So that was great. And then just...
Do you think they're going to stick with gymnastics? Do you think they're going to...
Well, cheerleading just ended. June was into cheer. Josie's...
June's going to be tall.
Oh, yeah.
They might all be tall.
Yeah.
But June's going to be tall.
Yeah. We don't have small people in the family.
No,
that's for damn sure.
Is she interested in basketball or volleyball?
Josie is. Josie
Okay.
likes basketball. Okay. Mary asked for basketball for her birthday, which is coming up shortly. And but June's into cheerleading. I think Josie will probably get into cheerleading and or play basketball. I'm not too sure. Mary, she's a wild card. Right.
Oh,
you know that.
she didn't know what she's doing yet.
But she's wide open. So I don't know. They all love gymnastics, and like this morning before school, they had a gymnastics competition all day, every day. So it's good for them. They're all really strong. So and it's good for flexibility. So I'm good with it. Yeah. Enjoy watching it. It's fun.
Camden tried out for a travel basketball squad. When was that? So I guess Friday and Sunday they had tryouts.
How'd that go?
Friday was not good. Not good at all.
How so? He
plays down at Hillsboro, small school. He's a good player. He thinks he's arrived. You're in sixth grade, bud. And so I told him, I warned him, and I've been warning Jackson. I was like, listen, boys, like if you want to start doing this travel stuff, it's a different animal. Like a lot of these kids only play this sport year round. Yep. It's just the nature of the beast these days. And I remember whenever I did some travel basketball, and this is, I can't even do the math right now. So long ago. Yeah. And I got there and I was like, whoa. Because I would go from football to basketball and then basketball to like travel basketball. And like these basketball dudes were legit. And so we show up Friday and I don't know, there's 60, 80. There's so many kids. They're everywhere. Everyone has their jerseys on and Cam's knees kind of, I think he's growing. He's got a little, I think it's like his tendon in the front. It's, when you start growing and your knee starts hurting, he's got a little bit of that going on. And he doesn't really practice that much. So we get there and we're halfway through it. And Jackson's with me. Jackson's either his biggest cheerleader or his biggest critic. Most of the time it's both. And he looks at me and he goes, Jackson's like, we should just leave.
Oh, fuck.
I'm like, why? He goes,
I can see Jackson say that.
he's like, this is a waste of our time, Dad.
Wonder where he gets that from.
Oh, he's like, this is a waste of our time. He's awful. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, so Jackson's like my conduit because if I say something to Cam, like he gets pissed off, especially if he's doing bad. If he's doing good, I can talk to him. I'm like, hey, go over there and tell Cam because they had 4 different stations to start. Just doing drills, just kind of like feeling out the kids.
What do they narrowed it down to?
There's 3 teams.
Okay.
So there's 3 teams of, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 maybe, probably 12 would be my guess.
So they cut the field in half, roughly.
Probably more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what is that, 36?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going down a significant number. And so I tell Jackson, I was like, hey, go tell Cam, like, quit messing. Like he went into it, was like, I'm gonna show off my ball handling skills.
Yep.
So he's between the legs, behind the back, but going nowhere.
Yeah.
Just dribbling. And I go, hey, go tell Camden, like, these all-star practice, it's about, you have to score with points.
Yeah.
You gotta score. You gotta somehow get these coaches' attention. So like, what do you want me to say? I was like, just tell them like, hey, get to the hole, quit just dancing. You gotta go. And so Jackson starts coming over to Cam, and Cam, I could read his lips. She's like, "Get the heck away from me!" Oh my god! And Jackson doesn't care. Jackson went straight up to him, onto the court. He's like, "Quit dancing!" I'm like, he comes back. He goes, "I told him." I was like, "Yeah, I saw."
Everyone saw.
Yeah, way to be subtle. And so they broke him up, and you know, some of the kids that like they're really good. You could tell like they went to a different court. And there was probably 30 of them went to a different court, and then Cannon got pushed over to the court like with these kids aren't making the team. He did well over there, and afterwards he was like, "I didn't do very well." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." And he's like, "What do you think is gonna happen?" I was like, "I don't know, man. You have Sunday. We'll figure it out." And so got there Sunday, and they broke him up immediately, and they put Camden with the kids I think are gonna make the team.
Okay.
So he went over there, and he played well. He's smaller, not super aggressive, but he can shoot, he can dribble. He's got great court awareness. He can pass the ball, but defense he's probably a liability and can't rebound to save his life. He's just tall. But can manage the court, good presence, and he can shoot. And so I was like, hey, bro, just don't turn it over. Make good passes. Be crisp. You know, take care of the ball. If you're open, take the shot. Don't pass it up. If you're open, I need you to shoot. And so did a great job, great passes, made some really good passes. Had one situation where like the ball was kind of like bouncing no man's land, and he went up and tipped it ahead to a guy streaking down. They got an easy layup. Made a pull up 3. I mean, he did well. Yeah, I was happy for him. So I think he's gonna make one of the squads.
Good.
Which is not good for me. That's just we're traveling.
What's the region that they travel in? Like,
I
it's
don't
the furthest
know.
game away. Is it in the state? Is it?
It's mostly in the state, I think. Nick.
Yep.
His son Nash has played on it, I don't know, for a couple of years. And Nash loves it. So Camden and Nash know each other. So it was good to have, a friendly face there. And so we'll see what happens. But that's where we stand there. And Jackson went with me on Sunday. I think Jackson went just because he thought Camden was going to fail. But then we get into it, and Jackson's such a good kid. And we get into it, and like Camden made a 3. He looked at me and goes, "We're in." He goes, the coaches saw that. He goes, we're in.
If one of your kids wanted to solely do one sport, would you be open to that?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, I've told Camden, like Camden wanted to start training for football in December. I was like, bro, not happening.
Yeah.
A, I don't want to do it, and B, like it's like you're basketball. Like we're doing basketball right now. It's a great sport. Teaches you a lot of things, teamwork.
Did you play basketball in high school?
Yeah. Yeah, I played football, basketball, and baseball. Like I would go just from one to another. So as soon as football was over, I'd be on the basketball. I'd take like a day. I would tell the coach I need like a week. But then like 2 days later, I'd be bored. Like, all right, I'll be out.
What position did you play in baseball?
Shortstop.
Okay. Which one do you think helped you better or
Basketball.
more so with football?
Basketball.
Is court awareness and how dynamic it is? And how
Court
quick it is?
awareness, quickness, shortness of just explosibility.
Yeah.
Passing, seeing the court, anticipation. I think basketball is great. And your left and right, like baseball, and football, you're only throwing with one arm.
Yeah.
You're only batting with one arm. You get one side dominant a lot. I know the players now, like if they're taking a lot of cuts left or right handed, they do the opposite just to kind of even out their body. But I think playing multiple sports is ideal. I saw I was listening to Chipper Jones talk because I think he might do he's on podcasts a lot talking about, because he's got some boys, and he was talking about, hey, like my boys don't play baseball, great, but if they're playing basketball, it's basketball season. If it's football, it's football season. And I that's how I grew up, and that's just I think pigeonholing these kids at age 7, 8, 9, 10, even 12, 14 is.
And you see that happening a lot. Like, hey, baseball's your sport or football's your sport. And we're going to do the travel teams. We're going to live it year round.
I think you learn so much from different coaches, and being like, I would have similar teammates from football to basketball to baseball, but there were a lot of teammates that were different from those sports and different coaches. And you learn so much from these different coaches and these different relationships with players, and how to deal with players and how to deal with different egos and feelings and emotions. I mean, I think there's a lot of value to playing more than one sport.
Which coach, whether it be, in grade school or the pros, would you say had the biggest impact on your life, and why?
That's a great question. Had a lot of coaches. Had a ton of coaches. I mean, early on, a guy named Joe Sharp was my first tackle football coach. He was an old school bull rider from Texas.
Oh,
and I mean, when I say
zero sympathy.
Didn't even know what the word meant. When I say we did some shit that would put somebody in jail, he'd be in jail.
Yeah.
100%. We went, I don't know if I told this story on this podcast, but we went the first 2 weeks of practice, and I wanted to be a running back. And I think my dad worked out some sort of deal with the coach, and he was like, he's going to play quarterback. And so the other quarterback the year before, they moved into running back. And I mean, this kid was a tough kid, but for some reason, Joe Sharp had it out for him. And he didn't like being hit, which, I mean, I don't know. Hell, I was 10, 9 or 10. I don't know. And so they put a pacifier on his helmet, on his face mask.
Instead of
a mouthpiece. Dead serious, a pacifier. And they made him wear it for a week. And at the end of the week, I'll never forget this. And I've told my dad this story numerous times. I don't know how. I mean, it was a different time, obviously. Yeah. They put this poor kid, and they made him get a pacifier. And his graduation was, they made him stand up like this, arm like this. And they took 4 or 5 of the biggest kids at 10 yards, to the wall, and let them run as fast as they could and hit him like this 4 or 5 straight times. And then that's how he got his pacifier and got his mouthpiece back.
How'd he handle it?
Like a fucking champ. I would after one, I would have been crying, like, I'm done playing football. This is the worst thing I've ever been a part of my entire life. And this kid got up 3 or 4 or 5 times and just took another one.
How did that?
I don't know if you watched this podcast and you're a part of the Cowboys team at LVO. in Evansville, Indiana in, what year is this? Early 90s. And you're the kid that please reach out, because I don't know. I don't know where you're at, but you're a absolute tough bastard.
Was his performance after that different from his performance before that?
I don't know his performance before, because we were a weekend of football. So
yeah.
But I mean, kid was an absolute, toughest kid. A tough ass kid.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't complain, did his job, and went to running back and played the entire year.
I've often tried to dissect or peel back the onion of buds, and how does just something that's 80% just physical, right? And however, you have to have the mental aptitude to get through, but what you're going through is physical, right? How does that translate into the end result, right? So you have something like first phase, which is purely physical, right? You're just getting, beat up all the time, very little sleep. You have, hell week and all of that. Mm-hmm. And then you weed out, 90% of the folks in your class.
Sure.
How does that physical evolution, or that, 8 weeks of physicality, how does that weed out people that aren't trustworthy? How does it weed out people that, lack team spirit and things of that nature? Because typically, there's a couple outliers, but just that 8 weeks of the hardest physical training, there is on the planet, arguably, results in a trustworthy person. Someone that has your back.
I think sports and what you guys do is different, because I think that, you can get middle school, high school football. It's hard.
Yeah.
And you can weed out a lot of people, but talent is going to keep you. You can be a dick. You can be an asshole. You can cause problems. But if you're talented, they're probably going to keep you around.
Yeah.
Where I think the SEALs are you could be the most talented person we have. You can be the best shooter. You can run the fastest. You can do. You can swim the longest. But if you're not a team guy, if you don't do what we want you to do, if your other guys don't trust you, they're you're worthless to us.
Absolutely.
Well, I think you get to the NFL, and you probably looked at the NFL, and 90% of them are really team dudes.
Yep.
They get it. They'll sacrifice their bodies. Mm-hmm. They'll go the extra yard. They do all the things. And then you have, 5% of the league is just super, super talented, and they'll slack off. They'll do some bullshit. There's some wide receivers out there but they'll make some big plays, and DNs, some DNs and receivers, a DN needs to make 15, 20 plays a year, and that's it.
Yeah.
You get your sacks and you get paid.
Mm-hmm. I saw something the other day, and I forget what show I was watching, and it was some stat like that, if a DN makes or a defensive player makes a sack a game, right, their career is made. They're getting paid.
Yeah, they're making $30 million a year.
If I allow a sack a game, I'm driving an Uber in 3 weeks.
Oh, without a doubt. It's very skewed.
Yeah.
And the problem with the NFL is the salary cap just keeps going up and up and up. So they're allowing that to keep happening because they have more money to burn. So we can burn $30 million a year on this DN that makes 15 plays. Mm-hmm. But we're not going to pay a left tackle $30 million for only allowing 2 sacks.
Yeah.
It's not right, but that's just the way it is right now.
And because it's a business too,
Well, it's a skewed business, and most of the people making the decisions are non-football people.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about the new kickoff rule that happened this year? Do you like it? We got a full year of it. It's
weird. Listen, if it's going to keep guys healthy, I'm all for it. Mm-hmm. I think there were some returns. How many kickoff returns were this year, Ben? Kickoff return touchdowns this year. In the past 5 years, kickoff return touchdowns. It probably went down a touch, but
I remember seeing a good handful of them.
Yeah,
yeah. I can't remember time and place, but I remember.
It's not that much different. You just shrunk the sprint time down for the the coverage team.
What do they do in? Has the rule changed in like I'm called Pee Wee, but middle school football, high school football, still the same.
Yeah, still the same. Huh. I mean, college is a different animal, but I would.
Dude, there were only 7
this year.
Yeah.
How many were last year?
Let me check.
7 this year returns.
7's.
It's low.
Yeah, I don't think that's too far off par though.
I would guess at least 7.
So there'd be weeks that like there'd be like 5 weeks there wasn't one.
Yeah.
I mean, the Devin Hesses of the world just don't really exist.
Looks like there was only 4 in 2023.
Oh,
See?
4 in 2023. Huh?
Yeah.
So it went up.
That was, I remember watching like Chris Berman, like a kickoff return for a touchdown was
Oh, yeah.
must-see TV. It didn't happen often.
Yep.
It's like winning the lottery. I mean, I think whenever you have a special team touchdown, like your chances of winning goes up like 20 or 30%.
Mm-hmm. When you went into college, did you look at college like, hey, I'm going to play college ball, and then I'm talking freshman year, like when you first went in, I'm going to play college ball, then, go get a job or whatever? Or was the moment you got a scholarship to Vanderbilt, was that like, hey, NFL's next step?
No, I was so sheltered. I mean, I lived in Santa Claus, Indiana. Like I don't think I really ever, because I think I was so consumed with playing sports. Like I never even thought about really my future or what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew I wanted to keep playing a sport. Mm-hmm. And so when I was offered the opportunity to keep playing football at Vandy, I was like, great.
Yeah.
Just keep playing this and go to school. Like it seemed like what people do. And I was like, all right, let's do this. I think everyone has aspirations, but it wasn't really on my mind. I was like, I just want to get to Vandy and do well there, and then we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. What were you majoring in at Vandy?
Trying not to go to school. It's on the Peabody campus. It's called Human Organizational Development. It's basically, anybody from Vandy who watches this and be like, he's completely wrong. But it's basically how it starts off how humans interact with other humans, like from a baby, and your attachments, and it grows from there to how organizations work, CEOs down. You have to do an internship. I mean, if I wasn't such a degenerate at school and like was going to school for school, I think it's a phenomenal track.
Did you do any like primitive cultures and or ape studies compared to how we are as a collective or as a community these days?
Maybe
things of that nature.
I don't remember much.
Yeah.
Like I said, I tried to not go to school as much as possible. But it's a great track. It's a great school. If you use it for what it is, phenomenal. It's phenomenal. I was not on that track. I
didn't go to school until I was like 30. So.
Yeah. I was just I was just doing enough so that I could, I think that first semester, it was like around a 2.0, maybe 1.8.
2.0 and go, baby. That's all you needed, right? You probably had to see average to play.
It was not pretty. Not pretty. But it was a culture shock too, because that school is hard as shit.
Yeah.
And like you have to go to class, you have to do there's no easy way out. It kind of sucks, but I figured it out.
What's up, guys? Sam Mackey here. I want to tell you about today's sponsor, Spartan Forge. Spartan Forge has no doubt made me a more effective and efficient hunter. Spartan Forge was founded by former U.S. Special Operations Intelligence Officer Bill Thompson, who took his 21 years of military experience fighting the global war on terror and applied his learnings to his true love, whitetail hunting. My favorite feature on the Spartan Forge app is the LiDAR for finding draws and funnels. It also has an AI deer movement prediction tool, so you know when and where to go. It has historical wind plots for selecting stand locations, and Cyber Scout for just about anything else I need to know. Spartan Forge, a veteran-owned and operated American mapping and scouting company. Use promo code OUTSIDER20 to save 20% on a premium membership to Spartan Forge. That's OUTSIDER20, OUTSIDER20. What do you have going on for spring break? That's coming up for us. The week after next?
So we were going to Bahamas, but then whenever I was getting everyone's passports out, Jackson's passport, February, done. And so he has to get a new passport. So
Did he have a baby picture in his?
it's 5 years old. So what is he? He's 10. It was when he was 5.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And
I think Mary's has a baby picture of her.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And so you can't expedite child or anyone minor passport. And so he's scheduled, I think, for sometime like mid-March to get a new one. So we're going to Hawaii.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've expedited passports in the past, and
As an adult, you can do it easy.
and or if you go, like if we needed one in a day or 24 hours, and I don't know if this is possible, we'd drive up to DC and get it done there. I don't know. And I know there's,
Well, you guys have some different contacts.
yeah, but I think there's buildings in each state where if you go there
No,
in
you can
person.
you can have it done.
Yeah.
But you just can't have a minor done.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
I mean, there's probably a way around it. I just don't know. We're booked for Hawaii. We're going to Maui, so it is what it is.
I think we're going to do southern Spain for Katie's birthday in September.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
September what?
In September for, I think it's,
I know the month of September. I said
So-
September what?
29th is her birthday.
Oh.
So into September.
So after Elcon.
Yeah. Right after that.
Just you and her?
No, we'll bring the kids.
Okay.
You guys are more than welcome to come too if you want. I think we're going to fart around.
I haven't been to Spain.
Yeah, southern Spain. Katie speaks Spanish, so it makes everything a lot easier. She already has places picked out, and it's so cheap down there too. You know, like
Really?
you get a killer spot on the water for, I think, I don't know, 100 euros a night, 150 euros a night, something like that.
I've got to I got to figure out my life because I've got Hawaii, and then we might be doing that Arizona hunt
Yep.
into March. And then I think we're taking all the kids to Australia. No, yeah, I don't want to talk about it. But 1st of June because it's Samantha's birthday, her mom's birthday, River's birthday. So I think that's the 1st of June, and then July I'm in 2 weeks in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get to August, school starts, football. Cannon and Jackson will probably both be playing. And then we've got September, Kentucky, Montana.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of moving parts
Spring
right now.
bear in there.
Oh,
If
gosh.
that's
yeah, May. We can do that
Yeah.
for sure.
I have
I know the boys want to do that.
this. Let's see. This upcoming weekend, I'm going to Chicago, meet with some folks for work, and then
This weekend?
Sunday, coming back Monday.
Oh, okay.
And then the following weekend, Saturday, I'm heading to Portland for the Northwestern Hunting Expo. Meeting
That's
Josh
good.
Fields out there for an evening, and
That's
then come back Sunday. Then I
That's
think,
gonna be brutal.
yeah, then I think we might
Portland.
head down to Florida Monday or Tuesday for a couple days somewhere for
Where?
spring break. I don't know. Katie was looking at, I'm gonna fuck this up. I don't know, Gulf Shores or some 1A or
You should hit up Jason Shear.
I will. So that's our.
He's got his
plan.
big place down there.
And then we get back from that.
It's his
and then-
birthday today. Jason
Oh,
Shear.
happy
You're
birthday.
probably not going to see this till this airs, but happy birthday, big guy.
So just a real busy couple months coming up for sure.
Yeah, things just get busy.
Yep, real quickly.
As the kids get older, too, they get so much going on. Mm-hmm. We're building that new house across the street. That's
How's that going?
Rob's on it.
I drove by the other day. I dropped something off at your house. I forget what it was. Your sunglasses and foundations poured. Everything. It looks like it. I mean, I drove by real quick.
Walls
Yeah.
are up. They're waterproofing today. I'm not sure what happens after that, but I mean, we just need some good weather and they'll start framing.
Yep.
We bought that place in Leapers.
I need to go out to that place. I went at Fox and Locks on Thursday night, of course, this last
Did
Thursday.
you?
Yeah.
With who?
Katie and I went with our friend Maddie.
Okay.
So, yeah, and just
It's a fun little spot.
I booked the wrong table, of course, and I looked at the map upside down, which is extremely rare. I don't know how the fuck I did this.
You're not a map guy.
Oh, I'm a map guy.
You're not a driver guy, and you're not a map guy.
And I booked the table right next to the stage.
Okay.
So we were in it.
Super loud.
I mean, we were in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get towards the back a
I
little
like
bit.
by the DJ booth in the back,
Exactly.
you know,
Yeah,
by the
gotta
high
get back-
tops.
You got to get
But-
back a little bit.
But that was a fun evening, and then had some neighbors over the weekend, and really didn't do much else. But this next weekend we got Mary's birthday party, so spa party.
She's gonna be a riot.
But
You better buckle up for that one.
oh, I know. And but yeah, that's what we got going on this week. And
We talking about Elon at all?
oh, sure, yeah. So I'll start with two things. I saw a chart, and he posted on X, and or I saw it on Instagram, but anyway, and it showed how Chelsea Clinton had somehow paid herself $84 million, you know, through all these different being on a board here, or these nonprofits or what have you.
84 million?
84 million. And then another interesting thing was what was like people from 124 to 130 receiving, I don't know how many, 100 million in Social Security. And then you have folks from, 141 to 145 receiving X million. Like it's
There's definitely a lot of corrupt and conspiracies out there.
Yeah.
And I mean, Elon's going to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Trump's going to get to the bottom of
Yeah.
it. It's just going to be, well, I mean, he sent out the whole thing like, hey, I need 5 bullet points.
Yep.
But then FBI, everyone was like, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
But I think it was just a test to see like, all right, let's see who does respond and let's see who doesn't, because I think there's a lot of workers out there that we're paying that don't do anything.
100%. And you see that in like when you try to get something done in the military, it's just the bureaucracy is through
Yeah.
the roof. And it's a lot of it, I think, is because of GS employees, and they're virtually, unfireable. Like
Yeah.
you can't get rid of them. And the amount of waste, fraud, and abuse is way higher than I think we'd ever think.
Yeah.
And I hope we can, trim some fat and save $1 trillion, and maybe pay our teachers more, pay the government, or pay, our military more, pay cops more. And,
Well, I mean, if we're using all this, we have all this waste, like let's bring taxes down. Like,
Yeah,
that would
exactly.
make sense. But I mean,
Yeah.
I think that, President Trump has put the right people in the head. Like, I mean, Pete, who's been on this podcast
Yep.
before, like, I mean, he's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But he also was like, he told his people, like, don't respond to this. Like,
Yep.
we in due time, we'll get to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't think that, I think that everyone's kind of riled up with Elon doing this, but I think there's a bigger plan in place. Like President Trump, like all these heads of the departments are like, we're just weeding out things.
Yep. And I like Pete for the SecDef position just because.
Do you? I was gonna ask that.
Because I loved his book, The War on Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
And we had him on about that, and his lens is the correct lens for the person in that seat.
How so?
Get rid of the corruption in the military, right? And the War on Warriors, allow these soldiers to do their job with as little red tape as possible, right?
Yeah.
And if something goes awry, it's not that individual soldier's fault. More than likely, it has to do with leadership and and folks, higher up in the military. A lot of them are looking up and out, looking for their next promotion, taking care of themselves, being selfish. And the lower level, everyone's down and in. Hey, how can I support my buddy?
Sure.
And they're not worried about the up and out. And I think his philosophy on leadership is like, hey, we need to take care of people within the organization to make it better.
Well, same with the police
Right.
department. We tell these police to go out there and secure the streets and make sure everyone's safe. And like as soon as they mess up, organization is the first person to burn them.
And that's how
I mean, it's like, why would you want to be a cop? Like, why would you want to be a soldier?
Yep.
It makes no sense.
I've heard this and I've seen it a million times. I'm just going to speak to the SEAL teams where someone messes up and we circle the wagons and shoot in. It's like,
Yeah.
what are we doing, man?
Yeah.
Like, obviously this kid messed up. He's a good person. He has a great reputation. Let's talk about him and see what's going on inside his head. What type of family problems does he have? Like, what's he going through personally right now that could have caused this action? Let's help him out there instead of just fry him, have a public, execution of the guy.
I'm not saying that every cop or every soldier gets a free pass.
No.
But it's
Still a performance-based organization.
yeah, they both are, but it's a situation by situation.
Yeah.
You can't just overlay this whole thing and be like, all right, everyone's bad.
I completely agree. And yeah, I do want to, speaking of cops, 2 Virginia Beach cops lost their life a couple days ago. And I have some friends on that department. So my heart goes out to those families. Super unfortunate event, man. Two young guys, I believe one guy was 25, the other guy was 30, and then the coward that took their lives went and took his own life. And, but my heart goes out to the families and the police department of Virginia Beach for sure, man. So.
And all the cops out there, we support you guys.
Absolutely. Anything else you want to talk about, bud?
Goodness.
You getting that full body giraffe?
Oh gosh.
Come on.
Thanks, Ben. Yeah, so I got this summer. You've been to Africa. You've hunted out there. And so I'm on the fence. Like, I don't think I can. You say you could kill a lion. I'm not sure if I can kill a lion. I could probably kill a leopard. I don't like cats. But a lion's a cat, obviously. I got that. After I said it.
I was going right at you with
that
that
I know
one.
you were. That's why I cut you off. So they keep sending giraffes.
A giraffe rug is what you want, man.
Well, that's what I told. I literally at lunch today, because Victor, I mean, he just sends. If I don't get a picture or a video per day, like I hit him up, I'm like, "Where's my Africa porn? Like, what's happening here? Did you have a day off?" And so he sent this big ass giraffe yesterday, and it's not priced that bad. I don't know.
Okay,
But I mean, a giraffe rug.
a full grown, I think they're called bull giraffes.
Yeah.
I mean, they're huge,
No shit.
right? Absolutely huge.
How tall is a giraffe?
A full-grown male giraffe.
18, 20 foot?
It would fit.
Up to 18 feet tall.
Nailed it.
I mean, you can.
I mean,
You can fit that in your house.
I think that, yeah. Oh, we can fit a lot of places. I don't know where I put it, but like,
Kentucky, the original lodge up there.
yeah. I mean, the expansion in Montana downstairs down there.
That looks sick.
Look bad. There's a bear rug down there, but like we can move that,
Yeah.
put that down there. Sam wants 2 zebra rugs.
Yeah.
Which is easy. But a giraffe, I'm probably gonna get talked into it.
Yeah.
Where do you shoot those bastards?
in the head.
at? In the head? You're a big head shooter, so
Well, I'm just following what I've seen and what I've been told. Yeah, I think you just try to close them out right away. And I know breaking those things down is an evolution for all those for all the guys.
Not my problem.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess how it fall. I mean, I don't know how much does a giraffe weigh, Ben?
1,500 pounds.
No chance. More
No,
than
I mean
that.
your trophy is 2,500 pounds.
Yeah, it's like more
I was
than
off by
that.
1,000.
Yeah, I was like, no way. It's 20 foot tall.
What's
I mean, how do you turn that thing over? Let's say it lands, boom. All right, you probably cut the legs off.
No, they will have winches and a
Have the whole
method that you have never seen, and the level of ingenuity is going to blow your mind. Yeah, and
I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna bring it to Montana.
Yeah, I'm talking like, hey, move this trailer here, this truck here. We're gonna hoist the head up onto here and move. Like they fit a Cape Buffalo in the back of a small Defender like vehicle.
Yeah.
Which,
I'm not
they're good at it.
not into the Buffalo right now.
What
For
do you,
the price.
What are you looking forward to the most? Like what animal?
Sable.
A sable? Yeah, they're beautiful.
They've got some sable, and I got a list.
Yeah.
I literally, Samantha's like, well, what are you doing? Because I just Google this all night and just watch people kill these things.
Dude, that's exactly how I was before I went.
Black Impala, kudu.
Yeah.
They got some badass kudu. Ostrich. We talked about this.
Sable. If you get a sable, are you gonna turn the head?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the mount. I mean,
Yeah, turn the head, and they've got some beautiful sables.
yeah,
They've got some beautiful stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
It's my first time, so I'm excited.
good. Anything else you want to talk about?
No,
Cool.
we're hopefully some warm weather is coming here. We're getting
Beautiful
into
day outside
spring.
today.
Beautiful day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. All right.
What do
Well,
we have going forward?
let's see. A bunch of traveling, working on some awesome partnerships we have coming up, and then working on some new drinkware coming up that's going to be coming out soon. Our backpack coolers, we're dropping these hats in the next week
You're
or
rocking
two.
a new hat.
Yep, and working on some other ones. We just dropped our flannels yesterday, so check all that out at outsider.com, and thanks for your support.